If you are new here, hi and welcome. It is so nice of you to join us. A little bit of info about me. I am Sue. I am Lebanese. I am addicted to coffee and books, and I like to create stuff in The Sims 4. It has been a really long while since I was last active on this channel or on any of my Sims content pages, to be honest. My personal life has been really tough, and it was really hard for me to keep it together and keep up with creating and scheduling content at the same time. But I am feeling somehow better now and up for releasing videos again, I guess. I am opting to put out maybe 1 or 2 videos per week, so fingers crossed I'll be able to keep up with my expectations. Now, luckily enough for me, I am an architecture student, and most of the projects I am asked to do, I build them eventually in The Sims. So I sort of have content for the next couple of months, which means I don't have to work myself to the bone to release videos. As for today, I am sharing with you a small piece of furniture I made a while back, before my last minute unannounced hiatus, that is. So back then, when I was still debatably fine in the head and dealing as well as I could with my life, I was in the mood to create a new sim in CAS. I was inspired by one of my dogs, Xena. I'll try to put a picture of her on screen now. I just wanted to see how she would look like as a sim in the game. So I went on a shopping spree and I downloaded some Create a Sim custom content and went into my game. And that is how Xena Black was born. Long after I created her character, though, I turned greedy and decided to build her a house inspired by her IRL personality and in-game one. Except I didn't just want to build her a house like I normally would any other character. She is special, so I wanted to tool the crap out of her house, even if it would be the death of me. So I sketched a rough plan of the build I had in my mind and decided to dive into creating its interior architecture and furnishings first. I started with a kitchen, and that is how the Blackwood Kitchen Island came into existence. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I started with mapping out the overall shape of the island with some base game counters. Now, I could have skipped this step entirely, I know, except I didn't want the island to be just decorative. I wanted the object to be actually functional. This means I needed to place a sink, I needed to place a dishwasher, plus I needed a working area for Sims to be able to cut the ingredients and prepare meals, place a laptop and work on it, and even sit and eat a proper dish if the game wasn't buggy. Now in the game, the only way to do this is by placing island pieces like I did. The good thing and positive thing about those in-game island pieces is that we can shrink them down using the left bracket key on the keyboard. Now that was the making of the functional part of the island. Now onto manipulating the decorative form of the piece. I basically only used 2 items. Both of them are found in the debug and live edit menus of the game. Now, in order to access those menus, there are a couple of cheats you have to enter. First of all, you have to open the cheat console by pressing Ctrl, Shift, and C on your keyboard. After that, you have to type in the cheat, testing cheats true, and then you just write down the cheats bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects. These cheats will open up a new menu that shows all the debug items that are world objects or the Sims use, but they are not basically in the game catalog, in the build by catalog, that is. I didn't have to enter those cheats because I use a mod by Twisted Maxi that unlocks these objects. Now, the objects I used are a plaque thingy from Get to Work and a fence piece from Base Game. Both can be manipulated using Tool, which means I can shrink or enlarge them as much as I want, and I can rotate them along any axis. Now, whenever I decide to make one of these functional objects I've done a couple before. I'll link them in the description box and I'll just put them in the card somewhere around on the screen. I check into game thinking it is going to be easy, just a couple of hours, and I'll have a new item I can play or furnish with or whatever. Yeah, it never works that way. It took me some time and I mean a lot of trial and error to get the measurements correct for this piece of furniture I made. I did cut out a lot of the tries that did not work. Like at the beginning, you might have seen that at first I had island counters stacked on top of each other, thinking that I can change a little in the final shape of the Blackwood Island. But it didn't work out as I expected because my Sims couldn't get to either of the counters and use them, thus rendering the functionality of my functional object obsolete. But let's face it, no one wants to see an hour-long video of me trying and failing at making something that doesn't want to work. Another item that gave me a headache was the sink. Not the actual sink, but the tap of the sink. I cut out the footage of me trying to make a tap that gives the illusion that water is coming out of it and neglected to film me actually managing to make it work. So I'm going to have to tell you what I did. I ended up using a desk lamp from City Living and sized it down and raised it so that the lamp part of the object would be at the level of where the water comes out from the sink tap, like the actual game sink. Best part of the whole thing is that when I sized down the in-game sink, the animation of the water did not shrink with it, which was a huge win for me and my over-eagerness for this to work, of course. Lastly, it was time for the finishing touches and decorations. So I used a metal pillar, I don't know, from base game. It is part of a fence found in the live edit menu to make the handles for the tap and the cabinet. We are coming close to the end of the making of my Blackwood Kitchen Island. You can download the tray files off of my Patreon. I'll have that linked down below. I will also link Twisted Mexie's website if you are interested in downloading Tool and Better Build By. These are the mods I use in my game. Now, one tip for using the laptop is to have your sim sit in the stool before queuing an action to actually use the laptop. Before I go, I want to thank every one of you for sticking around even though I've been gone a while. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you aren't already. I might have another video that is coming this week, either Thursday or Friday. It is going to be a special video for me, kind of personal. So I hope you stick around and come back to see it. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay happy. Bye!